Today, we have a very special guest.
No, how special.
Very special guest. Very, very special.
All right.
She is my broker. She's a mentor. She is a veteran in her industry. Today we have Miss Becky Hancock. How are you?
I'm good, Jackson. It's nice to be here with you.
Awesome, awesome. So tell us, how are we going to kick this off? I guess we can start with, how did things begin for you? What was your upbringing like?
Growing up,
Yeah, because I know your dad, he was military, right?
I was an Army brat.
I just
right.
learned that. I didn't know that.
So. Yeah. I was an Army brat. We moved all over the country.
Okay.
And the world, actually. We lived some in Germany. He had a couple tours in Germany.
Wow.
And so anyway, I think moving around like that all the time sort of made me a little more adaptable than some people are.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting because I always thought you were from here, maybe.
I
didn't realize until, you told me a little bit about your dad and where you guys went that you may not be from here. You may just be.
Not originally,
right.
But I've lived here an awful long time.
Okay.
I've been in the Enterprise area, with the exception of about a year, since 1977. So
okay,
I call it home, that's for sure.
Since 77, nice. So what year did you begin in real estate?
I started in real estate in 1974.
Really?
Yeah.
Before you came here?
Well, I was in Ozark.
Okay.
So I worked in Ozark, sold real estate there for a couple of years, and then, but I think it was April of 1974 is when I got my license.
Wow.
Oh my God.
So I'm gonna learn a lot in this interview, as you can see. Yeah. But that's interesting. I thought that, I don't know, I thought you grew up here maybe, or graduated here at least from high school. No. So you began real estate in Ozark.
In Ozark, right.
Which is about 30 minutes away.
Right.
And then you moved here and started doing business here.
Right.
Awesome. So you weren't always a broker, right?
No, you can't be a broker when you start.
Right. Okay. So yeah, how did that start? Like, or how did you start in real estate?
It was an accident. I needed a job, and I went to work in this fellow. His name was Floyd Gober, and he went by the name of Butch.
Okay.
And he had a hotel, a cafe, and a real estate office on 231, just north of Ozark.
Okay.
And I went there and looking for a job, and he hired me as a secretary. That's how I got started.
You were just looking for, just like how people come in here looking for a job as a receptionist. You were just looking for a job.
I was just looking for a job. Yeah.
Wow.
And so anyway, he put me through real estate school. It was really kind of funny. As I look back, because I was very young back then, and I think about that, he got really, really sick and was in the hospital for several months. And so his wife was with him the whole time. I ended up running his real estate office, his hotel, and the cafe.
Wow.
Because everybody that worked for him were looking for leadership. So somehow they picked me.
And you just stepped up.
Well, you just have to do what you have to do.
Do you think you were ready for it, or do you think it was just one of those situations where you had to be ready because no one else would do it?
That's exactly what it was. I just had to make decisions because there was nobody else to do it.
Wow. So how did that play out in the end? Were you, I guess, successful with?
I would say yes. We still had a cafe and a restaurant doing well, and real estate company when he did get well and got back to work. So
nice.
Yeah, nice. I held its own, I think.
That's very good. That's very good. It's interesting to hear about that. So I know you mentioned leadership. Was that your first role as being a leader, or did it start maybe when you were younger? I don't know if you played any sports or anything like that.
No, I wasn't very good at sports. I was too uncoordinated. But
Okay.
I think it did start when I was younger. My parents had 6 kids and I was the oldest.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I was 8 years older than the one that was closest to me.
Okay.
And then 10 years older, and then 12 years older, and 14 years older, and 17 years older. So with my dad being in the service and being overseas several times, I was the second mother to my siblings,
Right.
you know. So I think that probably played a role,
Definitely
you
probably
know,
had
being
to
the oldest
stop them from killing each other from time to time.
from
Yeah.
time to time.
Cool, cool. Yeah, that's cool. I'm learning a lot. I didn't
Oh,
think it. I thought I knew a lot about you, but
oh.
now I realize that I didn't know as much. So you said you chose real estate just looking for a job, and you stumbled across real estate, and the owner of the company put you through real estate school.
Right. So I think real estate chose me.
So it chose you. Yeah,
I went to work as a receptionist.
I think that's how it happens
Secretary.
for a lot of people,
I
right?
think so too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool. So were you afraid when he wanted you to go through real estate school, or was that something that you wanted for
The thought
yourself?
had never crossed my mind. I was pretty young and didn't know anything about real estate. I didn't know anything about selling it. I didn't know anything about anything. And so no, I wasn't afraid. I just took advantage of what was offered to me and went to school. I didn't even know that the test is hard to pass.
So you were kind of just naive to it all.
I was naive.
It's like, all right, let me go take this course, pass this test. I don't know what it's gonna do for me, but hey,
that's true.
Wow.
That's kind of how that happened.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. So once you passed the test and you got started as a real estate agent, did he kind of just hire you to do some things for him as a licensee, or did you get your own sales business started after that?
Oh my goodness. All right. So I'll tell you what he did. He still had me working as his secretary. So gosh, I probably made $2.25 an hour working for him. That was a while ago.
That was a while ago.
Yeah. But so he handed me, there used to be this little paper around here called the Advertiser. So everybody could put their stuff in for free and advertise anything they had for sale. So he hands me the Advertiser and says, here, call those people who are trying to sell some real estate and get it listed. I said, okay.
No scripts, no anything.
That's all I knew. I mean, that's all he said.
Wow.
We didn't know anything else. So I will say this. No, I had no training from the brokerage, but I began listening to, I heard about a guy by the name of Tom Hopkins. This was maybe 2 or 3 years later, but I heard about a guy named Tom Hopkins who was an awesome trainer. And so driving down the road, I had cassette tapes that I would put into my cassette player. Oh, that's after I got a car that had a cassette player.
Wow.
My first real estate car was, oh, this is kind of a funny story. Now, mind you, I'm in my 20s, early 20s, young, dumb, and easily intimidated. So I got a call from a lady who wanted to see a house. So she came to the office. It was in July. She and I got in, maybe I should back up, say, this is a lieutenant colonel's wife. I was intimidated. She was all decked out with her pretty clothes and lipstick and all that kind of stuff. And I put her in my Volkswagen that didn't have air conditioning.
Wow.
So here we drive from the office. Fortunately, it wasn't very far to where the house was. And we looked at the house, and I think the upholstery on my car snagged her clothes. So I never saw her again.
Yeah.
But I really didn't know how to go about making sure that I did. I didn't even know that I needed to, you know, because that was a long time ago. I did know I needed a new car. So I bought a 4-door Maverick with air conditioner, and cassette tape player.
Wow. So you got the cassette tape player, and
Started listening to Tom Hopkins.
that's cool.
Yeah.
That's definitely before my time. I don't think I've ever used a cassette, or maybe I have.
I don't even want to hear it.
But that's cool. So that inspires you to I guess get a new car. Was it brand new or was it?
Oh no, it was used.
It was a used car.
It was
Okay.
a used car,
But
but
that
it
was
was
your
in
first.
pretty good shape. Yeah.
Nice, nice.
That was my first quote unquote real estate car. Yeah. Oh, well, I will tell you another funny story though about that car. So a couple, I had gotten a little bit better, and a couple came. I met them actually at McDonald's. I was sitting with my insurance agent. We were kind of going over some things. And I see this couple sitting at another table, and they're going through those Homes magazines that used to be around. I introduced myself. We made friends. We became long time friends, actually.
Wow.
And but he wouldn't ride in my Maverick. He
wouldn't ride in it?
So he drove.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
So that's interesting, because I'm sure there's probably a lot more people reading papers and everything. So you said you just noticed them reading a real estate. It was a magazine, right? Or
right. It used, yeah. Okay. So Jackson, before your time, there would be stands out in front of all of the restaurants, in front of all of our offices. There were hundreds of stands in the area. Wow. And what it was a full color magazine that the real estate companies would list their homes in, and they would be out for about a month. So once a month we got new ads and put them in those magazines. And so that's how people shopped. Wow. There wasn't anything on the internet. We didn't know what the internet was because Al Gore hadn't invented it yet.
So that was Zillow then.
Oh yeah, that would, yeah. It was a little incomplete though, because we didn't advertise every house, you know.
So you caught someone looking at it, and you just walked over and
introduced myself, yeah.
And said, "Hey, I can sell you that house you're looking at, right?"
Yeah.
Nice. That's cool. So did you always have that in you? Was that something that the guy you worked for had to bring out of you? Where did you get that from? Just being able to walk up to someone and approach them without them even knowing you? And
I had to learn how to do that. And you know, it's a necessity. And I'm probably, if you were to go back in years, I was a real introvert. And I learned that I needed to be able to just come out and talk to people. So I had to teach myself to do that. Wow. Sometimes I stuck my foot in my mouth too. But, or maybe I didn't. Maybe I was afraid I was going to. But,
and that's what's gotten you to where you are now.
It is.
Wow. So Becky Hancock Realty. Tell me about that.
Oh my goodness.
When did that start? When did you decide to go out and start a business? And then not only that, but you're going to name it after yourself.
So I opened Becky Hancock Realty in 2005. Okay. Now I had already opened another real estate office and closed it and went back where I was before. But the reason I did that, I thought I was going to have just a little boutique business, myself and my assistant. That was all. We rented a couple little rooms in the Rolls Hotel building, where they had converted the hotel rooms to offices years ago. Nice. And there's still offices there. But anyway, so that's where we were. And I named it Becky Hancock Realty so people that knew me would know where to find me. And so anyway, when I opened that, then I just found people kept coming to me wanting to work with me. Wow. And I approached someone who had a real estate, you know, I needed more room when I had several people come to me. So I approached someone who had a real estate company. They'd been in business a while and just said, you know, a long while. So I just said, hey, would you consider selling? And she said, I'll let you know. She did. I bought it. There we go.
So you bought their business
Mhm,
and you gave it your name?
mhm.
Okay.
I renamed it, yeah. It was Sandy Thacker Realty, and then it was Becky Hancock Realty.
Wow.
So
So they already have agents under them, or?
they did. There were a
Okay.
few agents that were
Nice.
there, and they came to work with me too, and it was great for a while. I mean, it
Was
was
that
great.
a challenge, taking over someone's, because she sold the business to you?
Mhm.
The business was under her leadership, and then now these people that was once working for her are now working for you. Was it some, or working with you?
Mhm.
Were there some struggles just with that, or was it a pretty easy transition?
It was pretty easy at the time. Let's remember, I've been doing this forever.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been very intentional about making sure that I have good reputation and that people respect me.
Mm.
And I'm careful about what I do. And as a result, I think I already had the respect of the agents in the office.
Okay.
So it wasn't difficult.
Right. They already somewhat like you, so
Mhm.
got it,
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I've been involved with the Board of Realtors for years and served on as the president several times
Mhm.
and
Right.
on every committee and all that kind of stuff. So I knew people.
That kind of helped out a bit.
Mhm.
Nice. So Becky Hancock Realty then rose to becoming one of the top brokerages in town, right?
Yep,
I
we've
remember
always
being
been
young.
yeah,
I
top
would
five
always see,
anyway.
yeah, I would see that name everywhere. You were like a myth, you know. Becky Hancock. If you knew Becky Hancock, you must be an important person.
Oh, get out of here.
That's what it felt like. That's what it
Oh,
felt
wow,
like.
oh, wow.
So
Yeah.
was it a journey? Because when you took over her brokerage, was that a top brokerage in town, or was it kind of just a business that was doing a little bit better than what you had before?
They were doing okay. I don't know that I could really answer that. I think they were just, in the middle of the pack.
Mm-hmm. In the middle of the pack.
Yeah. So
And you rose to the
a
leader.
little bit. Yeah.
Nice. Was that intentional? Did you have goals to being one of the top? Because at the beginning, you just wanted to be a little boutique shop, you know?
So I didn't think that far ahead. I should have, because I think it's important to have goals and you need to have a plan to reach your goals. I preach that all the time. But at that time, no, but that's been close to 20 years ago.
Close to 20 years ago.
Yeah. So, you just kind of continue to learn.
Right.
But so we still have Becky Hancock Realty, and that is the property management arm of the company. Yeah, but I'll tell you about Remax. So I always felt like I was beating my head against the wall to try and come up with things to help the agents. And I had looked at several franchises, and there were some that I absolutely wouldn't consider because I didn't think that the agents were their main focus. But when I dug into Remax, agents are the main focus. I mean, the idea is to help an agent grow and help them build their business. And I like that. And I know that Remax has so many tools and ways to help. And Remax teaches me how to help you. So, those momentum classes we do, before we do them, I go through a training program. Even if I've taught them several times, I'll review that training program so that I make sure I present it as well as I can to you.
Wow. So not only is it a brokerage or a company that you found out would help the agents and put them first, but it also helps the broker or whoever's in charge become a better mentor for the agents that's working for the company.
Exactly. Exactly.
So is that kind of what sparked I guess, like you said, you were kind of beating your head against the wall when you were trying to figure out ways to grow.
And to help agents, yeah.
And to help agents.
Them grow.
So that's kind of what sparked the change from.
It was. It was. And I haven't looked back from that. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to Vegas December 6th and 7th to go to the Teams event that they do every year. so that I can learn better how to help people who want to build a team.
Nice. So for people who don't really know about this business,
Yeah.
right, and they don't understand how much it changes, what keeps you motivated this many years in? Of course, you can say you're an expert, right? You've been doing business in this area for so long, you're successful. What keeps you motivated to still want to do these trainings and learn new things?
You do, Jackson. The people that are here in the office are what motivate me to do better and to keep plugging away at things, because I truly enjoy it. And, you know, there are times when I feel like I've helped change lives, and that's enough.
Well, it is cool. It's awesome to hear that, because you meet a lot of people who have been doing it for a long time, and maybe they get stuck in their ways, and you can see it in the numbers. They don't really reach past a certain point because they don't want to adapt to what's changing in the environment. But one of the things that I admire about you is you're willing to try new things, and you're willing to change and grow. So that's pretty cool. I just wanted to say that.
Well, thank you.
But now, since you do have Remax now, I know on the other side, you've also dabbed in a bit of real estate investing as well, right?
I have.
Now, has it just been single family homes, or do you also do commercial, or what do you usually focus on?
Actually, where I've ended up is mostly in commercial property. But I set a goal years and years ago that when I retire, I wanted to have a certain amount of income from rental property that was completely paid for. And I haven't gotten there yet, but I'm working on it. And you know, I don't think I'll ever really retire. So
you don't think you'll ever retire? What is retirement anyway? You just quit?
No, I can't quit. I've done it too long.
Well, that's a good thing. Just to wrap it up, because I know you got some things to do. You're a very busy woman. What's some advice that you could give to maybe some new agents out there who are kind of stuck in that phase to where they're not really seeing much progress? They don't even have to be new agents. It can be someone who's been in the business and still not really getting past a certain point. They're not reaching the goals that they want to reach. What's some advice that you could give them to help them out with that evolution into becoming a successful businessman or woman?
Get out of your comfort zone and do the basics. The basics. I mean, real estate business is a people business. You've got to be in front of people, and you can't do it electronically. You got to be person to person. You've got to build relationships, because people want to do business with people they like, they trust, and that they want to help succeed. So you've got to develop relationships, and then you've got to stay in touch with those people with where you've developed your relationships. It's basic.
Basic, right?
Real basic. Yeah.
Not easy.
Not easy, no. But it's basic.
Basic. Awesome.
And know your craft. Learn your craft. Learn not selling, because we don't sell. We help people buy what they want. What your craft is learning about the business, understanding what the contract means, know what the consequences are for different actions, truly understand what it takes for someone to be able to buy a house or sell it, and learn the hard stuff too.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate that, Ms. Becky. It's been awesome having you on. I really appreciate you for coming on, and until next time, right?
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
All right. All right.